Hello everyone, this is Mr. B with Algebra 2 Notes 2.6, Graphing Inequalities. This is the last section for Chapter 2, so we've got a test coming up. If you guys want to, I do want to mention this here just in case you don't hear it in class. Study guide is free, 10 points of extra credit if you complete it. It's a really good way, especially if you bring it into me and just have me look over it. I can run through. It's going to look very much like the test will. So if you do really good on the study guide and you don't really have any questions, then you should be good. Just jump into the notes now. First off, graphing inequalities. The equation of an inequality is the border. So when we say the equation of an inequality, that's replacing any type of symbol that you might see with just an equals sign, and then graphing that. A solid line, those are points along the line that are included, and that is a greater than and or equal to, or a less than or equal. And a dashed line are points along the lines that are excluded. And that's just a greater than or a less than sign. All right, let's jump straight into it. Steps to graphing an inequality. First off, draw the boundary, either dashed or solid, depending on the inequality. So let's do that now. Graph the inequality. Y is less than 2x minus 1. So if this were just an equal sign, we'll kind of cover that up for now and just imagine that it's an equal sign. Well, we know that the slope is 2. The y-intercept is negative 1. So we'll go down here and graph out some of these points. Great. Let's graph that. I've got a little bit of a straight edge here, so. All right, perfect. Let's see. And now we'll uncover that again. Now we need to test a point that is not on the boundary line. I'm going to just go with the origin here. It's not quite on the borderline. It's close, but it's not right there. So we will try that one. So 0, 0. So 0 is less than 0, well, 2 times 0, which is just 0, minus 1. 2 times 0 is 0. So really we have 0 is greater than negative 1. And that checks out. If the result is true, which in this case it is, graph that region. So we would shade this whole side in. And that's it. If the test result is false, then we would graph the other side. If this sign were flipped, as an example, if we were dealing with less than, 0 is not less than negative 1, therefore it would be false, and then we would shade the other side. Well, in this case it was true though. Let's go through a word problem here. The SAT has two parts. A tutoring company advertises that it specializes in helping students who have a combined score of 900 or less write an inequality to describe the combined scores of a new prospective client. So, combined score, we've got two different sections of the SAT. We've got math, and we have, I believe it's reading. Let's see, I'm going to call math X, and I'm going to call it reading Y. It doesn't matter in this case. Sometimes you may have a more direct relation where you say, well, this is the input, and then you're going to label that X. And then the output, you would typically want to label Y, just so it's a little bit easier to read. It makes more sense. In this case, it really either matters. One's not the input or the output. I'm going to label these in 100s. So that's 100, 200, jump up 400, 600, and then all the way up here we've got 900. I'll fill in the rest. And we've got the same thing down here on the bottom. We've got 100, 200, 300, all the way up to 900. All right. But we need to write an inequality. So we're saying that we have math is X and reading is Y. We're saying that the combined scores of a new prospective client, but they need to be less than 900. Okay, let's see. If we combine them, that's just X plus Y. This score needs to be less than 900. And it could be 900. It's 900 or less. So this would be a less than or equal to sign. Let's see, the boundary line here would be solid. Let's see, well, X plus Y is, we'll switch this into just an equal sign. Let's see. I'm going to write this over here, all the way over on the right side. If we switch this over to an equal sign, X plus Y equals 900. I'm going to get the Y by itself by just subtracting X. And then I'm going to write it in point slope form. Y equals negative X plus 900. That means that our y-intercept is 900. That's right here. And it has a slope of negative 1. Well, this whole graph is a 1-to-1 ratio, so we can just go straight down. Got a straight edge here, bear with me. And remember, this is a solid line because it can include that point. A little bit of wave there, but you get the idea. Now we can pick a point. I'm just going to try 0 and plug it straight into this one. So 0 plus 0 is less than or equal to 900. Well, that's definitely going to check out. 0 is absolutely less than 900. So this point, this test point, worked. So we can shade in the entire graph on this side. And there we have it. You guys are probably going to be OCD about shading in. Some of you might be. Some of you, I know, definitely won't, but that's okay. There we go. All right, that's it. Let's test a point or test some type of input. Would a student with a reading score of 480 and a math score of 410 fit in the company's guideline? Well, let's try it. 480 plus 410. Actually, I did that a little bit backwards. If our x value, and this can matter, which is why I'm going back here, our math score is 410. That was our x value, so we have 410 plus our reading score of 480 is less than or equal to 900. Well, if we add those together, we'd get 890 is less than or equal to 900. So yes, it would. All right, and that's all for notes. These can get more complicated, and it can be kind of a challenge to change these types of sentences into in inequality, but typically the way they're going to be set up is they're going to give you some type of information, two variables that relate to each other, and then they're going to say is less than or is greater than or something like that to a specific number. Just put that number over on the right side and figure out what you're working with, how your information relates to itself, and just kind of take it from there. If you guys do have questions on this, please talk to us in class. We will be more than happy to help out, and we will see you guys there.